Hey everybody, it's just me making another video. I'm back from not making a video for 5, 6 days. Just thought I'd bring you a new video. This is going to be a video request again from a YouTuber who wanted me to do a video request for him. It was like last week, and I told him I'd do it sometime this week. So yeah, this is a video request from nepoznatiqt and Jeff Hardy next WWE's man, but mainly the guy I just said, it's him. He wanted me to do a video request of my top 10 most overrated wrestlers of all time. And I'm just going to give you my top 10 overrated wrestlers and just explain some of the reasons why they're one of the most overrated wrestlers and why some of these guys got hyped and really they didn't live up to much of the hype that most of the announcers and most of the people in the wrestling business hyped them up to be. So that's just going to give you just a good explanation about that. But before I get to that, I gotta say Q&A is coming pretty soon. It's Q&A for August the 28th or August 29th. That's coming soon. So send me your questions and I'll be sure to answer them as best I can. Also, if you have any more video requests you want me to do, feel free to send it to me because I got a lot of free time. I'm making good videos and everything. I'm making videos, so feel free to send me a video request. So yeah, that's pretty much the two things I wanted to talk about. So let's get with this video. So we start off with number 10 of the most overrated wrestler of all time. I got number 10, which is Kevin Nash. To me, Kevin Nash is one of the most overrated wrestlers in the wrestling business. Yeah, he has good mic skills. And yeah, he has good mic skills, and he's good at cutting promos and stuff like that. But when it comes to his wrestling ability, forget about it. The man was truly not that good. He was hyped as one of the best big men in wrestling, but he really wasn't a really good big man like some of the other big men in wrestling, like your Vader or your Undertaker or just guys like that. Really, he was lazy in the ring. He only had a few moves in some of his matches, and he really wasn't that good at all. I mean, it was just so hard to get into some of his matches. The only reason to watch him wrestle was if he was wrestling Bret Hart or Shawn Michaels or somebody of that nature. But don't get me wrong, the man can cut good promos and everything like that, and he's really good on the mic, but when it comes to his wrestling ability, he's just real overrated. As some people say, he's one of the best big men in wrestling. I beg to differ. As really, he's just not as good as many people say he is as the big man. I mean, he can move like he can do some moves that some big man can't do, but overall, this man doesn't have a majority of moves, and that's one of the reasons why he's just so overrated. Is he just cannot he just doesn't have that many moves. And like I said, the only reason to watch some of his matches is just to watch him wrestle a guy like Bret Hart or somebody like that, so he'd be interesting. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why I got him at number 10, is he's just one of the most overrated wrestlers of all time. Number 9, I got the Ultimate Warrior. Really, Ultimate Warrior is another one of those wrestlers that got hyped when he came to the WWF as being one of the as being the greatest thing to come into wrestling, but he really wasn't. I mean, yeah, he put on a few good matches, but really he was just one of the most overrated wrestlers in my opinion. I mean, his promos were just out there. He really couldn't cut good promos. His wrestling ability was pretty bad, as he only had a few moves, and really he was just hyped as the next big thing when he turned out really in reality he wasn't the big thing at all. I mean, the crowd got into him, but he really wasn't that much to talk about. But still, he is one of the most popular WWE superstars of all time, but that doesn't mean that he isn't the most overrated wrestler of all time. That's one of the reasons I got him at number 9, is he has a limited move set, can't cut promos, and it's some of the wrestlers that he worked hard. He was a stiff worker pretty much, as he just stiffed some of his opponents. Like, he hurt his opponents when he wasn't really trying to, but he ended up hurting them. Just look at the shoot that Bobby the Brain Heenan did, as Bobby the Brain Heenan was saying that Ultimate Warrior did the gorilla press slam on him and he ended up hurting him. So yeah, that's pretty much why I have the Ultimate Warrior as one of the most overrated wrestlers. He hurts wrestlers, tend to hurts wrestlers. doesn't really like following directions, and he has a vast limited move set, and that's one of the reasons why I got him on here. Number 8 goes to Triple H. Really, Triple H was good before his injury, before his first injury. He was a good wrestler, can have a good match with just about anybody, can carry his own weight into a matchup. But since his injury, he's not really as good as he used to be. He can't carry some wrestlers to good matches. Perfect example, his match against Khali. I mean, you would think someone like Triple H should be able to carry Khali. I mean, John Cena was able to carry the great Khali to a watchable matchup, but this is Triple H we're talking about. He's a little bit better than John Cena, and he wasn't able to carry the Great Khali to a watchable matchup. So that pretty much tells you something about Triple H, as he can't. He has a limited move set as well. He doesn't have that many moves. His promos get boring and stale sometimes, and like I said, some of his matches are just pretty much the same. He just uses the same formula in some of his matches. He doesn't really do much to suck you into some of his matches like most of the other WWE superstars, and that's one of the reasons why I got him as one of the most overrated wrestlers. As some people still hype him as one of the best wrestlers in the WWE. He is a good wrestler, don't get me wrong, but one of the best wrestlers in the WWE. No, I wouldn't even put him on top of that pedestal, and that's why I feel he's very overrated. That's means so many people just tend to say high praise about him when in reality he's sort of below or a little bit down some of the big superstars in the WWE right now, and that's why I got him at number 8. Number 7, I got Batista. Another guy that got hyped really big when he came into the WWE. They were saying how this guy was good when he was in OVW. They were saying he was a good worker, and he had some good moves and stuff like that, and some power moves. But in reality, I haven't really seen much from Batista. Let's see what about Batista. He doesn't have that many moves. He's boring with the crowd. He has terrible mic skills. I mean, I can go on and on, but really, I won't even go on and on and on about that. And that's why I feel Batista is one of the most overrated wrestlers, as he's just he's just really not that good in the ring as some people say that he is for a big man. I just don't see it, and that's one of the reasons why I got him at number 7. Number 6, another guy who was hyped. I mean, they were hyping this guy when they pushed him to single status, and that was Billy Gunn. The WWE pushed this guy like to the moon, saying that this guy was one of the next superstars in the WWE, one of the next big superstars in the WWE, and he was a great athlete and everything like that. And boy, the WWE they they just had egg in their face after what happened to Billy Gunn, as the crowd wasn't interested in all in this guy. This guy couldn't cut a promo worth a damn. His matches were boring and stale, and it was just so hard to get into some of his matches, and he wasn't really over with the crowd like the WWE was hoping for him to be, as the crowd just didn't see nothing in him. And that's why I feel he was one of the most overrated wrestlers, as he just got hyped so much to the point where the WWE was feeding him down our throats, and we really didn't buy into him because we just didn't see anything into. We really didn't see anything in him, and that's one of the reasons why I feel he's really overrated. Number 5 goes to Ahmed Johnson, another guy who got hyped when he came into the WWE. When he came into the WWE around November of 1995, I believe. It was one the time he was going to make his debut at the Survivor Series. The WWE hyped this guy as being one of the next big superstars and everything like that. And in reality, the same thing. They had egg in their face, as this guy was injury prone. He couldn't cut a promo worth a damn. He injured some of the wrestlers he got in the ring with. He couldn't put any good matches on, and really he just didn't have that many. He didn't have a good move set in the ring, and that's one of the reasons why I feel he's very overrated, as he was just not a very good wrestler, as many other people were hyping him up to be, and that's one of the reasons why I got him at number 5. Anyhow, stay tuned for part 2. Really, I was gonna only have this as a part 1 video, but it's gonna go to part 2. So stay tuned for part 2, where I go through the last 4 guys for my top 10 overrated wrestlers. So stay tuned for part 2. Peace.